Hi everyone, today we're going to put the pages inside our journal. You could use standard paper like this is print paper, just fold it in half, makes lots of pages all in once. But I'm going to show you a way of putting in lots of different sort of sizes, textures, thicknesses to make your journal really pretty. This is my favourite way of doing it, and these are some of the papers and the offcuts I've got. First measure the width. You're going to need to have, of course, double the width of your journal because you'll be folding your pieces over, and the height of your journal. So once you know your measurements, you can start cutting off your pieces of paper. Fold each piece of paper in half. As you can see, they're a mix match. Some are bigger than others. That doesn't matter. When it's a junk journal, you're basically using the bits you've got at home. You don't really go out and buy very much for a junk journal. You just use your scraps. Just slotting them together here just to see how they look. If you have thinner pieces like this piece, it's a good idea to reinforce the spine because we're going to be sewing through that, and also the spines get a lot of wear and tear with the opening and closing of your journal. So if you stick a piece of washi tape on there, you get such pretty tape now. You can stick it just on one side like I've done with that one, but I shall probably go through and stick them on both sides just to give that extra strength. You could do that with all of your pages. I'll probably go through later before we sew it together and just see if they all need a little bit of tape. Your journal cover every now and then and see what you think. Don't forget that you're going to be putting thicknesses into your journal, in pictures, tags, all sorts of bits and bobs. So you don't want to fill the journal up at this stage because it's going to grow. I'm just going to add one more piece and then I think we're done. Their maximum really is to put about 10 sheets in. If you want more than that, then do another set of 10, because otherwise they're very difficult to sew through. They become just a little bit too thick to manage. Gone through and added a bit more of the pretty tape on some of my pages. Put some holes on your journal cover. On most journal covers you would just need to put one at the top, one at the bottom and one in the middle. But here I've put 3 in the middle. This is because of this little piece of paper that I've got in the middle of my journal. I want to make sure that I can get 3 lots of thread through that small piece. Now we're going to mark on our paper at the same point where we've got our mark on our cover. A sharp tool, I'm going to use a needle and make a hole where you've put each of these marks. After making a hole, I then like to put a pin into that hole just to hold it in place while I do the rest of my holes. I find otherwise it all slips about a little bit too much. Continue and do all of the holes in the same way and put some pins in. We now have holes in our journal cover and in our paper, all ready to sew together. I'm going to use some embroidery thread, but you could use any strong thread really. I mean, a lot of people use a waxed cotton thread, which is really strong, but I find embroidery thread works a treat, and that's what I've got. So start by going through the middle of your journal paper with your thread, and then into the same hole on your cover. We're now going to go into the hole above that hole, so through the cover and then through the papers. Don't forget to take that pin out. Now we go over to the other side and do the hole on the other side of the centre point. The same way, but go through the paper and then through the cover. At this point, just check that you're keeping your embroidery thread, cord, whatever you're using, nice and tight. Go back over to the other side, into our last hole on that side, and go through the cover and then through the papers. And you've guessed it, we then go back up to the last hole on the other side and do the same thing again. Now last of all, we go back into the centre hole. This is the trickiest hole because your thread's quite tight now, holding all together. And then tie in the middle. And you can leave it as just a knot and cut it off, or you could tie yourself a little bow, which is what I'm going to do. This that I'm doing here is called an S knot. It makes it quite secure in the middle before I do my bow. I've seen a lot of people do this, so it's why I've started to do it. Your pages are all nicely secured inside. Don't they look pretty? I love it. I love the different textures, the different sizes, patterns. I much prefer to do a journal this way. I hope you have fun making your journal. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, then please do like and subscribe to my page.